In the deep black sky, even though a million miles apart, the sun still finds a way to bring light to the moon back. As the deadness of COVID era is finally settling at its own pace, we are hoping for a new start. Let us pray to God and start this beautiful evening with this beautiful gathering. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Namaskar. A very good evening to everyone and all. I, Dr. Rasmita, Assistant Professor of Department of Transfusion Medicine, welcome you all to this Platinum Jubilee celebration 75 for 75 Fiesta of Sri Ramachandra Bhanjo Medical College and Hospital on behalf of our department. As you all know, we are gathered here to celebrate 75 years of glorious era of serving human mankind in this premium institute. And we felt very lucky to be part of it. Now a very warm welcome to our honorable esteemed dignitaries, our respected faculties, colleagues, my dear friends, residents, and everyone who are watching us online. I invite our Dean and Principal Professor Datteswar Hota sir, who is the backbone of our Premium Institute, whose idea inspired us to improve our vision to this Platinum Jubilee celebration. I invite our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vibhutendu Pati sir, HOD Department of IMS and SAM Hospital, to grace the dais. Please, sir. Now I invite Professor Dr. Vidyut Das sir, HOD Department of Rheumatology, to the dais. Lastly, I invite our esteemed HOD, Professor Dr. Pankaj Parida sir, to grace the dais. I request Dr. Nirupama and Dr. Sangeeta to welcome our dignitaries with flower bouquet. I request Dr. Nirupama kindly welcome Principal sir with flower bouquet. It is my privilege to invite our esteemed Dean and Principal of SCB Medical College, Professor Dr. Datteswar Hota sir, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Please, sir.
Good evening. At the outset, I'll mention one thing. Are you not bored of looking at me every day at this time and listening to me every day? Well, the fact is that if I don't come, there is a little bit of displeasure. So I thought that I have to come, at least to keep my departmental colleague happy. And you have to endure me all the time. Professor Pati, the chief guest of the evening, Professor Vidyut Das, the guest of honor, Professor Parida, the chairman of the day and the HOD, chairman of the evening and the HOD of the transfusion medicine, our vice principal, Professor HOD of different departments, my colleague, friends, students, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I was thinking that somebody should take my responsibility sometime, but I realized that that is not going to happen. So I thought I'll come and definitely talk to all of you. When you talk for a longer time, you are left with nothing to talk. So many times when you talk. Now, today I'll tell you something which is very inquisitive. I asked Smita, our associate professor of the transfusion medicine, have you done the ODI translation of transfusion medicine? She smiled at me. I say, you have to have an ODI. After all, we are from Odisha. We are SCB Medical College in Odisha. And every department they have written in ODI the name of the department. And when it comes to that, when it came to my department, you might have seen the board. You might have seen. And many a time we feel ashamed why that ODI has been written. Urology, Mutra Vibhag. So my department is Mutra Vibhag. So let me tell that actually the exact ODI of urology is Mutra Rogo Salya Chikitsa Vibhag. What is the name there and what is Mutra Rogo here? So that is how we used to have to translate into ODI. And I propose that a beautiful name should be there for transfusion medicine. And to add to it, you know, if you look to the MCI schedule, now the erstwhile MCI and present NMC, there is a schedule. And the schedule is IASBT, immunohematology and blood transfusion, not transfusion medicine. There is overlapping, few departments are still remaining as transfusion medicine. And I have suggested today that let there be a proposal be mooted to me so that I can move to the government, get the name changed, which will be given to the university to impart degree on this particular IHBT, immunohematology and blood transfusion. Well, ISBT or the so-called transfusion medicine. If transfusion medicine, it is only confined to the transfusion and that to blood or plasma transfusion or cellular components. But if you look to the ISBT, like clinical immunology and rheumatology, today also I talked to Professor Vidyut Das. His department is only rheumatology. So that needs to be changed. I propose that there should be a proposal mooted. It should be routed to the government and we should change the name. Nomenclature is very important. When we are celebrating our platinum jubilee, we should have been aware about the nomenclature of the department as well. My department was GU surgery, but the MCI doesn't have GU surgery. It is urology. University was imparting the MCH in GU surgery. So we rectified it. So we should rectify the name and very importantly, the nomenclature stands out if you have the appropriate name. Immunohematology, blood transfusion medicines, IHBT, all you know, it is a department that serves every department. There is not a single department which is not served by IHBT. And this department has paramount importance because when the patient is in real critical condition, they come into the help. And we must have called, all of us must have called Professor Parida, Sasmita, and many more of the faculty of the department. You please give a blood, the man doesn't have a donor and the man is sinking, he's getting exsanguinated. So you know that the amount of help they impact, but we have not given them the due recognition and the due regard they deserve. And here is a platform where Professor Parida is there, Shasmita is there, other colleagues are there, Rasmita is there, so many. So I think this ISBT, when it comes to immunohematology, I don't know, there are a lot of overlapping. Immunology, Professor Das, clinical hematology, Professor Jena. Now this is one thing, is immunohematology. Means an immunology related to the blood. So there may be overlapping, but there are special areas which can be taken up. In fact, one of the steps that we had taken, which is likely to materialize anytime, is the HLA typing and cross-matching, P-cell cross-matching. As part of the transplant team, I am very much aware that what importance is HLA typing and cross-matching. So this is going to be installed or become operational in the department of ISBT, and wish that before that we have the HLA typing and cross-matching, at least the name be changed so that it will sound better and it will be more appropriate. Besides, what I would like to also suggest that this ISBT, they can have tremendous research potential, which we have not been trying. I know there are able people in the Department of Transfusion Medicine. Please look into the research activity, and you can have collaborative research activity with other departments. These things are very, very important, and all departments will benefit. You know, in SCB, all departments are complementary to each other. And we have to work in tandem, in unity together. And this is what the purpose of having this deliberation, 75 days deliberations, including all stakeholders. This is the objective of having this function. Now we have only one more department left on Monday, that is neurology. It was supposed to be my day because I am the last letter as regards the nomenclatures are concerned, but we have preponed to 8th of November because of some problem. And I believe it will be a very nice ending, and we will be looking forward to the 10 program that awaits from 16th of November. I request, always I take this opportunity to request all our colleague friends and students to please participate in large number in those 10 days, because stalwarts, personalities of eminence, they are coming to us. They will be giving guidance to us. They will give their lifetime experience to inspire the young doctors. So please participate for those 10 days. Each HOD should request, if required, instruct the faculty and student of his department to not to miss this function for these 10 days. With these few words, I welcome you all again, and looking forward to have patience for one more hearing from me on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now I request our HOD, Professor Dr. Pankaj Parida, sir, to kindly address the gathering. Please, sir.
Respected Dean and Principal Professor Dr. Dattashwar Hota sir, respected Chief Guest Professor Dr. Bibhendu Pati sir, respected Guest of Honor Professor Dr. Vidut Das sir, respected all faculty members present, my seniors, colleagues, juniors, students, ladies and gentlemen. Platinum Jubilee celebration of this institution has started, and out of existing 37 departments, already 35 departments have performed the event. Today is the turn of this Department of Transfusion Medicine, which has been newly created by the Government of Odisha in the year 2011. As natural for any new department, we have faced many hurdles, and we are fortunate to overcome these hurdles and progress gradually. Our goal is to provide improved quality of transfusion service, and we are trying our best in this direction with cooperation from Dean and Principal as well as from Superintendent of this institution. I entered this institution in the year 1978, as an undergraduate student. I feel very proud and privileged to be part of this Platinum Jubilee celebration. I sincerely hope that the viewers, including those who are online through YouTube or Zoom, they will enjoy the cultural event that follows.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I welcome our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Vidyut Das sir, HOD, Department of Rheumatology, SCB Medical College and Hospital, to share his thoughts for this special evening. Please, sir.
Good evening, all of you. Respected Professor Patti, the chief guest of the evening, Professor Hota, Dean Principal, Professor Parida, the Chief of Transfusion Medicine, my colleagues, friends, seniors, ladies and gentlemen. Almost the second time that I'm coming to the podium after we had a very exhausting time a day back when we had our presentation. But when I was told I must thank the organizers for making me a guest of honor, I'm very uncomfortable with such terms. I prefer just to do something behind the scene rather than stand on the podium and talk. A guest of honor is a very elevated position, and we must be good enough to be that. Hopefully, I'm very thankful to the organizers for selecting me to the guest of honor today. Transfusion medicine is like the same problem that I face in rheumatology. What is its entity? We have problems in understanding it. I thought, oh, it's just blood transfusion. Why should we have a department of transfusion medicine? My first impression about transfusion medicine came in Lucknow, that is SGPGI, where I was there, and they had a medicine, they had a transfusion medicine department in 1996. And I said, oh, these guys must be, if you have a blood bank, why you have a transfusion medicine department? So many people working. Just like any foolish guy who doesn't know much about a subject and he tries to show that he knows a lot of it. There's a beautiful word in English that say, it's folly to be wise, but ignorance is bliss. And I was blissful that transfusion medicine is such a huge department and has so much potential. But I didn't know that. Therefore, when I came back later, the transfusion medicine was born here in 2011. We were born at the same time. The rheumatology and transfusion medicine was born in 2011 officially. So we are siblings, almost siblings, and we have grown up together. And I realized that a lot of things that we do, they do. And so Dr. Hota was picking my brain. Whatever I was thinking, he was picking it up by telepathy. We want to change the nomenclature. Why should we call it transfusion medicine? Call it by a better name. It doesn't actually approve of what Shakespeare said, what's in a name called a rose would smell as sweet. But here it does make a difference. You don't have to call it transfusion medicine. You have to change the name. And I'm sure this is going to happen very soon. Same way as we want to change the name of rheumatology to clinical immunology, because it adds a whole new dimension to your department, completely different. So there was extremely intelligent guys in SGPGI, and I was interacting with some of them. One of them was Dr. Jolly, who was the head of, and they had a very interesting combination of departments: genetics, immunology, urology, nephrology, cardiology, cardiothoracic surgery. And it was based on an American pattern that basic science and the clinical science must coexist together. That respect, I think transfusion medicine and hematology, perhaps immunology, can together work a lot. These are days of collaboration. Again, Dr. Hota picked my brain. I was thinking, why not collaborate? We should do better things and bigger things. The concept of transfusion medicine has been revolutionized with the onset of component transfusions. Now we know that transfusion is so vital to save the life of a patient, and unless you have a proper transfusion, we face problem in autoimmune hemolytic anemia because it's not getting matched. So we have to wait and find out ways, and several times Smita has helped us to find out the right combination. So I think lots and lots of people have been saved by proper transfusion and knowing newer antigens, that is the blood group antigens, which we knew ABO and all that. But now we know there are different antigens and they can contribute to immunological reactions. Platelet transfusion is again liver-stenosis therapy, ITPs and thrombocytopenias and dengue. Many, the only treatment for dengue is platelet transfusion. And the component transfusion has again revolutionized that. And the plasma therapy, everybody knows about COVID. I was a very skeptical person about the role of plasma therapy in COVID. And several times I've told Smita, I don't know why you started this, it's going to fail. It did fail in official sense because it was withdrawn after they saw it's not working. But now I know why it didn't work, because the inclusion criteria were wrong. You in a way, the plasma contains antibodies. The convalescent plasma contains antibodies, and the antibodies can only neutralize an antigen that is in the blood. Once the virus gets inside the cell, it is impossible to neutralize. So if you give it to moderate to severe patients, it's not going to work. Now you come up with a concept called cocktail therapy of monoclonals, and you say you give it within 5 days, and you spend 70,000 rupees for a cocktail. But plasma therapy, you give nothing, just convalescent plasma. You give it for within 3 to 5 days, and you see the response. And I was asking Smita, let's write a paper to any GM saying that the perspective is wrong. What the Americans are telling us, what we were doing, we did it wrongly. Recheck that thought. So there's huge potential in this department. The first thing, I think research should be the foundation of this department. They have lots of potential. Unless you feel the department is there so that you are not transferred anywhere else, there's a good department to stay. If a lot of patients join good departments in the sense that you're the only department, so nobody's going to touch you. You want to stay here, and that is the purpose. Then obviously research will be a different proposition. So research has a potential. Number two is collaboration. Yeah, you have to collaborate with some of the best institutes. That's what exactly we believe in. If you collaborate, you're going to do lots of good things. Without collaboration these days, a single unit effort is not adequate. And finally, I believe that this department will one day be the center of excellence in Odisha. I'm sure about that. You have the people, you can do it. And we'll be very proud to see, because we were born together. And I believe immunology, rheumatology one day will be one of the top units in the country. I have no doubt about that. And I also believe transfusion medicine, which was born with us, will also have the same fate as one of the centers of excellence. Before I part, Professor Patti, I must add something, that both of us were staying in a place called OCB, Old College Block at Burla. I had just gone there. It's a terrible place. My house was robbed and he was staying next door. And so I used to say, my God, why the hell did I come here? I might as well leave my job and get away. He said, don't worry, everything will be all right. I stuck to it, but I was rebellious in the sense that there's no point in doing anything. You can't do anything staying here. That's where the concept of developing immunology came to my mind. So Burla actually gave me a boost as an adversity to do immunology PhD. And then, as they say, the rest is history, as things happen. Thank you very much, Professor Patti, for supporting me during the most difficult period of my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, to enlighten us with your word of wisdom. Now I welcome our esteemed chief guest, Professor Dr. Vibhutendu Pati sir, HOD, Department of Transfusion Medicine, IMS Some Medical College and Hospital, to speak a few words to our gathering. Please, sir.
So I am thankful to our Dean, Professor Hutta, and the few known faces one comes across after 40 years. That is Dr. Indivu Sankar sitting there, Dr. Bhuvan Maharana and Professor Vidyut Das and Dr. Rabi. So gradually known faces will become less and less and one feel more lonely. That is a part way of life. So here I joined in this medical college in 1980 September, and still I am working. So it is a long 44 or 41 years of service, and out of that 50% of time I have worked here in this institute, and in Burla Medical College about 6.5 years, and Barampur Medical College about 3 years. So majority of my attachment is with this medical college. And if after death there is a soul and that goes to God, get a chance to meet the God, and God asks, what did you do hell? What hell did you do in the earth, surface of the earth? I can only tell one thing, that I tried all my best to work sincerely and started new discipline of transfusion medicine SCB. And after joining in some, I started a postgraduate course in transfusion medicine there. And now we have got in both the colleges, combinedly we have produced about 12 or 14 transfusion medicine MDs. So that is the only thing I can say. So long back in Burla library, I was reading a small handbook of hematology, and I do not recollect the name of the author compiler, but on the front page, there's a beautiful quotation that I remember till now. That was by Salk. The Salk and Sabin, who were the pioneers of polio vaccine. Salk has written, the reward of doing good job is opportunity to do more so. So that line still I remember. If you work good, you will be recognized, you will be getting more opportunity to do good work. So now, coming back to the transfusion medicine and all this ISSTM, in the national level, our professional body now, which is headed by all the academicians, including those from PGI, SGPGI, that is ISTM, Indian Society of Transfusion Medicine. The textbooks that come out now, they're mostly transfusion medicine, because it was ISBT, there are 3 degrees recognized by the NMC. One is IHBT, one is blood transfusion and transfusion medicine. IH and transfusion medicine, TM, IHTM, another is transfusion medicine. The degree of this is transfusion medicine, SCB. The degree we've been given in Bhubaneswar, that is MD IHBT. So there are a lot of problems that needs to be, as Professor Cuttack told, that needs to be synchronized, should be 1 degree. And that is the necessity. Transfusion medicine gives a sort of moral satisfaction to those working in the department of transfusion medicine. They don't feel we are totally paraclinical. We are more so towards the clinical side. And in fact, at present, transfusion medicine has incorporated so much of therapeutics that you get a patient of neurology, Gulenberry, impending to go to a ventilator support. You put him on a therapeutic plasma exchange, and after 6 hours, 1 sitting, 3 hours, the patient's antibody, 60% of antibody will take out. So the patient avoids going back to the ventilators. And you get a case of sickle cell anemia and sickle cell disease, and no surgeon will or anesthetist will take up the case. 60% or 70% of a hemoglobin S. So they will avoid. We do a red cell exchange and bring down the HbS percentage to 30%. And he's a fit for undergoing the surgery. This we have done in 3 cases. In our place, in some, all have been successful. A patient of sickle cell disease going to face an examination after 1 month, you put him under the procedure, and we will be very sure that during the preparation phase, you will not be getting a crisis. So there are many good things that have been done, and particularly I recollect the day when the health minister and the health secretary came to inaugurate the department of our department, new department ISBT. The same day, the Professor Hotta's effort of child, that is the renal transplant unit, was also inaugurated. So the minister first came and inaugurated our new department, then went to Professor Hotta's department, stayed a lot of time and inaugurated their renal transplant newly created unit. That is the brainchild, and the effort goes, the credit goes to Professor Hotta. That I recollect. So we had a small news coverage also for that day. And of course, clinicians always predominant. They had gotten larger news coverage. So that is the same day we had, and now Dr. Vidyut Das is telling that almost at the same time he started his department. So with this word, I may take 2 minutes more. So in 1650, around 50, William Harvey discovered the circulatory system. Before that, everybody was blind. That blood circulates like this. There is a heart, there is a pump. This was inaugurated. After that, in 1659, the syringe was first brought out. So once the syringe was devised, so people started trying injecting through the vein. So in this process, in 1961, around 61, a French Jean-Baptiste, he tried transfusions animal blood to the human beings. So first 2-3 cases they survived. The 4th case died, and that went to case a lot of legal complication to the church. The Catholic Church and the French courts put a ban on any work on transfusion. And this ban continued for almost 250 years. So for 250 years, the development in transfusion medicine was brought back to zero. So that's why there is a long, very bad setback on the history of transfusion medicine. Then in 1901, when Karl Landsteiner discovered this ABO system of blood groups, then people again started working on that, and with that the progress started. That's why the birthday of Karl Landsteiner is always celebrated throughout the world as the World Blood Donor Day. And the counterpart in India, as Dr. Vidyut Das told, Professor J.G. Jolly, Jaya Gopala Jolly. So I had an opportunity of working under him in PGI for 1 year in 1984, J.G. Jolly. So after from PGI, he went to SGPGI. When he was in PGI, the first postgraduate or separate course of transfusion medicine was DIBT, Diploma in Immunohematology and Blood Transfusion, affiliated to Punjab University, not PGI autonomous. And that degree, he started there around 1980-84. So then in PGI, he started the MD course. That is the first MD course in whole of India. And that he started around 90s, 91, 92 like this. And that is the first course. So as of today, there are around 65 medical colleges in India out of 450 plus medical colleges, half of which are government, half of which are private sectors. So 65 medical colleges have started the courses in this specialty. And besides that, 4 corporate hospitals, big hospitals, they have got a DNB program in transfusion medicine. So together, the country is now producing about 130 consultants in transfusion medicine, or IHBT, whatever you may like to call it. So now these people are getting disheartened because there is no job or opportunity to work. It is not a specialty like pathology or biochemistry or radiology or anesthesiology that you don't get a chance in working in a hospital. There are so many hospitals, so many poly or multi-centric diagnostic centers where they can be engaged. So for a person with a postgraduate from this department, he only needs a blood center to work. There's nothing else for that. So that's why transfusion medicine department is expanding. So as Professor Hota has told, tissue typing, HLA typing, all this. And in this therapeutic part of apheresis that has come in, and the drugs control of India and the latest rules in 2020, they've allowed the blood centers to have the therapeutic processes in the blood center itself. So it was not there previously. So now you can send a Guillain-Barré syndrome case to Department of Transfusion Medicine for a setting. A hyperleukocytosis, I have done 3 cases of hyperleukocytosis, with having a total WBC count of 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, with lungs congested and patient in a very bad shape. And there's no time to bring down with a oncology people. They need time to reduce this. So we put him under a therapeutic WBC exchange, and in one sitting the count came down to 50%, in second sitting another 50%. So you could bring it back down to 1.5 lakhs, 1 lakh, patient was safe. So there are so many avenues, red cell exchange, platelet exchange, and in hyperplatelet, all these are now possible and patients can be benefit, but all it requires is an interdepartmental correlation and help. And the second thing is, there is some lacuna from our department, and we need little bit our efforts should be more we should develop a better relation with clinicians. We should go to their department, hold a seminar and tell them when blood is available, not available, what can be done. So there are two methods. One is ABO specific blood, one is ABO compatible blood. You can go for ABO compatible blood. Go PAT cell, we take out the plasma, PAT cell only. So in platelet, whatever you can do. We have got a machine in our department, Immucor. So there we can do a platelet match. Platelet refractile cases are a headache for the clinician. So they need a platelet compatible blood. The platelet matching is possible. So many things are there. So I think I should not waste more of the time. So I thank again to the organizers for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, sharing your knowledge with us. Now, we are coming to the main part of this event, the felicitation program of former alumni. This Platinum Jubilee celebration, 75 for 75 Fiesta, has given us the opportunity to felicitate our former faculties who literally found and shaped our department in a great way. Professor Dr. Vibhutendu Pati sir, who after completing MD Pathology in 1979, worked as a faculty of pathology in Government Medical College of Odisha for 31 years, acquired 10 months of working experience in transfusion medicine in ISPT department, PGI Chandigarh, under Professor J.J. Jolly in 1984. Besides being trained in IIH Mumbai, AIMS New Delhi, Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Institute New Delhi, Apollo Hospital Kolkata. Deputed to Central Red Cross Blood Bank Cuttack, the largest blood bank of Odisha in that time in 1988, and worked in different capacity. Finally, as its director and strengthened voluntary blood donation and modernizing it. Posted to SCB Medical College, Cuttack, worked as founder and head of the department in the year 2012. And he started the MD transfusion program, which started in 2012 and 2013 session. He superannuated in 2012. Now, then he joined IMS and some hospital Bhubaneswar as professor and HOD Department of Transfusion Medicine, and he also started MD ISPT program for the session 2014 to 2015. He has 8-year experience as professor transfusion medicine, 6-year experience as PG guide and thesis, theory paper, practical and viva exam in MD examination. He placed Odisha in national list, having postgraduate teaching department in the new specialty of transfusion medicine. Now I would request our Dean and Principal Sir, Professor Dr. Datteswar Hota Sir, kindly felicitate Professor Dr. Pati Sir. Please, sir. Mama. Photo uthi babu, photo. Thank you, sir. Now I want to say a few words for our former alumni of this institute. Professor Dr. Rakhi Karo Madam, who has done her MBBS from SCB Medical College, MD Pathology from JIPMER, and DM Hematopathology in AIMS New Delhi. She has 16-year experience in teaching and research. Her area of interest is hemostasis, hemoglobinopathies, flow cytometry, hematolymphoid biopsy, laboratory quality management. involved in several research programs, 101 journal publications. She has 9 gold medal in MBBS and bronze medal in MD examination. She is Vice President of Indian Society of Hematology and Blood Transfusion. She is Secretary cum Treasurer of Puducherry chapter of ISHBT, and she is Associate Editor for 3 reputed hematology or medical journal. Now let us hear something from our Rakhi madam.
Professor of Pathology at Jubilee, Puducherry, and an alumnus of SCB Medical College, Cuttack. It is indeed a matter of great pride that my cherished alma mater is celebrating its Platinum Jubilee in such a memorable way. There have been a series of CMAs, and now there's an upcoming global conclave. I'm indeed honored to have been associated with this Platinum Jubilee academics. I express my gratitude to Dr. Smita Mahapatra and Dr. Pankaj Parida from the Department of Transfusion Medicine for having invited me to deliver a talk on the mesenchymal stem cell therapy in management of COVID-19 in the virtual CME on transfusion medicine in COVID-19, which was held on 15th July 2021. I'm indeed overwhelmed with this honor that you have conferred on me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Transfusion medicine, a great success.
Now coming to know the journey of
Been doing. I wish the remaining aspects of the Platinum Jubilee celebration of SCB Medical College a grand success. And last but not least, I wish that my beloved alma mater continues to be and progresses further in becoming a center of excellence in medical teaching and patient care. Thank you once again. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Now coming to journey of transfusion medicine department. To know the journey of transfusion medicine department, where it first started, what challenges we overcome, and how we reached here, and what future vision we lies. Here a small presentation on the past, present, and future of this department. I request our HOD, Professor Dr. Pankaj Parida sir, to show the path. Please, sir.
Respected Dean and Principal, Professor Dr. Hota sir, respected or dignitary present, my seniors, juniors. Now I will highlight the activity of the department, past, present, and future. Past. So you must few words on the department. We invest treatment with utmost love and care to save life with the help of blood and its components. Past. So there is a blood bank, Rakta Bhandara, in the old casualty building, and it was in the surgery department prior to 2011, and in 2011 it shifted to the present position, and during that period Mr. Bhuvan B.N. Maharana was blood bank officer for a pretty long time, and that period blood group was being tested by slide method, and the screening tests were done by the card method. Then present. So here I must highlight that many cases of infection with AIDS virus are detected all over India in children suffering from thalassemia who are receiving blood transfusion at regular interval. Considering gravity of situation, Honorable Supreme Court gave direction for creation of separate Department of Transfusion Medicine. And so ultimately new Department of Transfusion Medicine was created in the 2011 in this college by Government of Odisha. Initially, faculties from the pathology department were in charge till 2013, and in 2013, 3 full-time faculty joined in the department including one professor, one associate professor, and one assistant professor. You can see them. Myself, Dr. Pankaj Parida, associate professor, Dr. Smita Mahapatra, and assistant professor, Dr. Rasmita Paningai. We have 2 PG seats and senior resident, junior resident present working. You can see them. And laboratory technicians are also backbones. And your camp coordinator, KS Tripathi, who is an active person, and nursing officers who work in the blood bank. So, and these are the ministerial staff without whom we cannot serve. They are always available on reception counter on turn basis. These are attendants who work day and night in the blood bank. Voluntary blood donation camps are backbone of any blood bank. Hence, we start from VBT camp. You can see your outdoor VBT camp with 2 donors are come for donating. And there was a problem, so we procured a van, blood collection van, where there is a AC chamber and donor's couch inside the blood, inside the van itself, where people come and donate. So blood collection from outdoor VBT camps are not sufficient to meet the demand. So directed or exchange transfusion is an alternative. Now present functioning of the blood bank, sites and these will be present. Here the receiving counter where the patient first reports. If he wants to donate, then we have examined him, and if he feels then only he can proceed for donation. Then he moves to phlebotomy section, where nursing officers and with a monitor and donor's couch, they donate blood. Then they move to for refreshment, where you offer milk, biscuit, cake, and we have rest room for them with beds ready. Then samples are sent for TTA screening. TTA section, we have eraser nap, NAT nap, and fully automatic CRIA machines. You can see our lab technicians, them performing the eraser test with the making equipments, modern equipments. And we also started a nucleic acid test and NAT test in 2016. Here we can detect HIV, HBV, SCB in the blood donor even during window period, which we may miss by other tests. So automated liquid handler in NAT testing and loading our sample for pulling photo is given. And you can see how the report is being generated automatically. So in the last 5 years, 102 positive cases detected by NAT, so that 306 leaves, considering 1 unit of blood is separated in 3 components. So 306 leaves who could have otherwise given infected blood, they have been prevented from receiving that due to NAT testing. Then we have also procured CRIA machine recently, and you can see the CRIA machine being operated by our experienced lab technicians. Then we go to serology section, where you do the blood grouping and cross-matching of blood donor and recipient. Many equipments are used: electric tube smear, microscope, centrifuge, chirurgical centrifuge, blood grouping reagents. Then we can do blood grouping by J card. So after the grouping, blood is stored properly. Yeah. Then next is using of whole blood has become obsolete. So we always, each unit we prepare component, packed RBC, fresh frozen plasma, and random donor platelet. You can see the equipment used: automated component separator, double weighing balance, refrigerator, centrifuge, plasma expressor, sterile connecting device, platelet agitator come in incubator, because platelet has to be stored in agitating stage. We have plasma thawing bath and fresh frozen plasma for storing -80 degrees centigrade. We have storage chambers. So our PRBC has to be also stored properly in designated storage place within the refrigerator. Then apheresis section, the procedure by which we can collect specific component of blood from a single donor, and the rest part of it goes back to accumulator of donor. That is apheresis. So most common process is single donor platelet or SDP. We have performed around 200 cases in last 3 months and 400 cases in last year. SDP is very useful for ITP thrombocytopenic patients like dengue and cancer patients and chemotherapy. So for this, we have equipment like Opti and Comtech. You can see a person donating SDP. Then the plasmapheresis process also we have started, which is very helpful in plasma bank functioning. Next. Yes, Plasma Bank has inaugurated on 15 July 2020 in this department. You can see a person donating plasma for plasma therapy. Honorable Minister Dharmendra Pradhan from the center has donated. Minister of the Tourism of the Odisha, he has also come forward to donate plasma. After donation, the plasma is stored properly in -80 degrees centigrade. And plasma therapy has been stopped from 19 May 2021, but by that time, more than 1,000 donors have donated and more than 2,000 units of plasma collected and distributed to different COVID hospitals. So on our success, the Honorable Chief Minister has congratulated us and given a favorable tweet. Health and Family Department also has congratulated us. Then IH laboratory. This laboratory has started after the creation of department, where we perform different tests, like direct comb test, indirect comb test, Coombs cross matching, elution absorption, blood phenotyping, with the testing, resolving blood group discrepancy, and other tests. For this, we have many equipments to be used, including incubator, BioVary incubator, ortho-BioVary centrifuge. Many types of reagent also has to be used for this purpose. You can see AHG cross matching, direct comb test, indirect comb test by the two methods. Then blood phenotyping in different reagents we have procured. 3-set panel study we carry out sometimes. 11-set panels also we carry out sometimes. So for library, we have procured books from the, then this is our seminar room. Academic achievements. Our research proposal has been approved by a multidisciplinary research unit and research is going on. We have conducted 4 CME in last several years, with has been successful, and we are conducting different training programs from time to time. One training program is sponsored by SBTC State Blood Transfusion Council Bhubaneswar. This training is for 1 month. Then training sponsored by NACO. This training is for 1 week. In this training, medical officers, lab technicians, and staff nurses from different blood banks all over Odisha, they have come and participated, and they have expressed their satisfaction with the training process. Then, when we joined, MSI recognition was lacking. We take all steps for procurement of equipment and creation of necessary infrastructure. Obtaining license for apheresis was important landmark. Then, in 2017, MSI recognition for 2 PG seats for transfer of medicine was granted. Present Dean and Principal Professor Dr. Hota was a member of MSI at that period, and his contribution to this process of recognition is immense and worth mentioning, for which we are obliged. And blood bank license was a very tedious process, and after completion of 38 compliance, then we obtained the renewal of license in 2020. So awards, we have received many awards at different staff. Dr. Smita Mahapatra given Corona Warrior Award. PG student Nirupama Sahu has received award on poster presentation. Then our blood bank activity, Honorable Health Minister, Honorable Chief Minister has given us award for our success in blood component separation. We have several joint publications to our credit in index journals. What is our future plan? We want to fully automated blood grouping cross matching, HNF, therapeutic apheresis, therapeutic plasma apheresis, therapeutic erythrocytopheresis, leukopheresis, stem cell correction and preservation, core blood banking, coagulation nerve establishment, blood irradiator procurement, pathogen reduction technology, and genomic knowledge. These are future plans. You can see here fully automated grouping cross matching so as to prevent any error in blood grouping. So typing, these are also planning. Therapeutic plasma exchange will be doing soon. Erythrocytopheresis will be doing soon. Leukocytopheresis is also in our strategy. Stem cell correction preservation is also our future plan. Core blood banking also we want to do in future. So coagulation laboratory establishment with thromboelastography hemostasis analyzer is also running. Blood irradiator procurement process is going on. And pathogen inactivation is a modern technology, and which also we are planning to introduce by Miracell method and other method. Genomic laboratory establishment, which in future it will be done. Thank you. So briefly, I have presented past, present, and future of this department.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful presentation. Now everyone kindly get ready for the roller coaster ride of joy and excitement as we are going to begin our cultural event of this night. Music soothes our mind and heart. So open your mind and close your eyes. Let music take over your soul. Shiva is the truth. Shiva is beauty. Shiva is masculine. Shiva is feminine. Shiva is Shakti. Shakti is Shiva. Everything is nothing and nothing is everything. Now I request our Associate Professor Dr. Smita Ma'am to perform her song on Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Give a huge round of applause for Ma'am. Please, Ma'am.
शुभ संध्या। सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम् सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम् सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम् Sundar शिवं सुन्दरम् सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम् सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम् ईश्वर सत्य है शिव है शिव ही सुंदर है सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम् सत्यं शिवं
What a mesmerizing performance. Thank you, ma'am. Now smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul fly high. Now again a beautiful song by our Smita ma'am, Bali Ghara Bhangi.
मोरो तारो से गोमती मोहिला से गोमती मोहिला बालिक भांगी केउनी असंगी मो आखि को बुझी थाइला मो आखि को बुझी थाइला मोर प्रिया खेल संग साथी मेल सेतिकी प्रीति होइला सेतिकी प्रीति होइला से बुझी थाइला से बुझी थाइला
What a lovely performance. Thank you, ma'am. Now coming to ahead, we have heart of our night, the drama. ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଈଶ୍ୱର। ଆଜି ଶୁଭ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟାରେ ଆମ୍ଭେ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କ ଚିତ୍ତ ବିନୋଦନ ଲାଗି ଛୋଟ ନାଟକଟିଏ ପରିବେଷଣ କରିବାକୁ ଯାଉଛୁ। ନାଟକଟିର ନାମ ହେଲା ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଈଶ୍ୱର। କଳାକାରମାନଙ୍କର ପରିଚୟ। ନିରଞ୍ଜନ ବାବା ଭୂମିକାରେ, ନିରୁପମା ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଭୂମିକାରେ, ମନୁ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଭୂମିକାରେ, ଉପେନ୍ଦ୍ର ସରୋଜ ଭୂମିକାରେ, ବିଜୟଲକ୍ଷ୍ମୀ ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ଭୂମିକାରେ, ଦେବୀ ସ୍ୱେଚ୍ଛାସେବୀ ଭୂମିକାରେ, ସଙ୍ଗୀତା ଡାକ୍ତରାଣୀ ଭୂମିକାରେ। ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର କରତାଳି ସହ ଆମ୍ଭେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରୁଛୁ ଆମର ନାଟକ ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଈଶ୍ୱର।
आंबे बाबा त्राण करता पछकू जोड़ी दियो भाड़ी के सुखिला महारारे आमे मुगुरा बसाउना एईटी बेपारटा जमीबो सुणबस्त सुबुद्धि तो एठू अंतर्ध्यान हुओ आउ यथा समय रे रोगीवेश रे प्रवेश करिवो यथा आज्ञा प्रभु। आंबे ताले आरंभ करिबा निसंदेह तुमे टिके बेणी को झाड़ी हाणी रे बसी पाली धर आसीबे आसीबे मालिकरे महापुरुष माने आगुर सतर्क करैतिले आंबे किंतु मानिले बोइले घोर महामारी आसीबो बहुल गारी बसबी कुसेई बाप सब पछे पची गंधेइबो पुओ कांद देबो नाई केबे बुलुथिबे मुहे तुंडी बांधी केबे हेबे घरे बंदी निज घरे निजे अछुआ रहिबे बुझिबु कथार संधि जय जगन्नाथ साधु साधु तेरे मो सब जिनिस तो आमे जानिले आमे व्यस्त हबार किछि नाही आम्बे बाबा त्राणकर्ता आपण मानंकु ए महामारी रु रक्षा करिवु जदि आपण मानक मध्य रे कहार कोरोना रो लक्षण थाए से माने आसी आंब पदत निःशुल्क भाव रे परीक्षा करे नियंतु देखंतु मात्र 5 मिनिट रे आम्बे आपनकु आरोग्य करिवु मान्यवर कौन होईची
खास प्रभु खास
बंद होइबनी तो
ना प्रभु
आउ
ज्वर प्रभु ज्वर
चढ़ी जाउची
चढ़ी चढ़ी जाउची प्रभु चढ़ चढ़ जाउची
औषध
काम दउनी प्रभु।
दबनी काम दबनी तथापि व्यस्त हबार किछि नाही आम्बे तुमर परीक्षा
प्रभु
मालिके अरे तुमको तो कोरोना ग्रास करिछि
प्रभु
एई देखो ये होउची हमर सुंड भंगा गुंड अवश्य तुमे तो कोरोना भूताणु देखिथिबो टीवी रे तो देखिथिबो निश्चय भूताणु रो चारिकरे मानवर सुंड माने केमिति हालू हालू होता हमर एई सुंड भंगा गुंड मात्र कई मिनिट रे भूताणु रो सुंड गुडी को मिलेई दिए आ तापरे कोरोना भूताणु निष्क्रिय
प्रभु
मालिके तांकु औषध व्यवस्था
प्रभु तो भी रे
संपूर्ण भी दियो बस
प्रभु प्रभु भलो होई
संपूर्ण आरोग्य होई
प्रभु सरकार भी रे
निश्चय साधु हरि ओम हरि ओम
ओह ओह की आराम प्रभु खास कमी गला ज्वर भी छाड़ी गला प्रभु
पूर्ण आरोग्य
आपण मनीष नहंती प्रभु
साधु।
आपण मनीष नहंती
साधु
आपण भगवान प्रभु आपण भगवान कोन बा आपण को देबी एई नियंतु प्रभु
रखो बाड़ीके
एई नियंतु मु जाउछि आपनको महिमा गान करी प्रभु
हरि ओम
आपनको जोगु मु आबे सुस्थ अरे देख रे ठाकुरଙ୍କ महिमा देख ठाकुरଙ୍କ महिमा देख मु संपूर्ण सुस्थ ओ जय बाबा त्राणकर्ता जय बाबा त्राणकर्ता जय बाबा त्राणकर्ता
बाबा मते गोटे डोज दियो बाबा मते गोटे बाबा मते गोटे बाबा मते गोटे बाबा मते गोटे डोज दियो
ଶୀତ ଦିନରେ କଣ କ୍ରିମ ଲଗାଉଛନ୍ତି
डोज बनाइबो बाड़ीके हरि ओम हरि ओम बस सुबुद्धि
प्रभु
उपसमय हेई गलानी
प्रभु
कौन किछि व्यवस्था
व्यवस्था अछि प्रभु मु कोन से हेळा करे
मूर्ख आळ स्तन कालपत्र किछि भी ज्ञान नहीं गोटे तमर
प्रभु ताले से
हाँ।
को चलिबो प्रभु एई
बम बम बोले वाह
ପ୍ରଭୁ ସେ ଦୁଆରେ କରୋନାରେ କଣ
ସବୁ ନିଷ୍କ୍ରିୟ ହେଇଯିବ। ବଢିଆ ବେପାର ହେଇଛି। ସାଧୁ ସାଧୁ ଓ ବାଳିକେ ନିର୍ಬೋଧ ବାଳିକେ ପ୍ରଥମ 1000ଟା ଆମର ଥିଲା ସେଟା ମାଇନସ କର। ଜମା ତମେ ଭିଡକୁ ନୁହଁ।
କି ଯନ୍ତ୍ରଣା ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ମୁଁ ଆଉ ବଞ୍ଚିବିନି ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ଆସିଗଲ ମୋର କଣ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଆସିଛି ସାବିତ୍ରୀ
ତୁମର
ଆରେ କହୁନା କଣ ଆସିଛି
ତୁମର
କଣ ଆସିଛି କୁହ
ତୁମର କରୋନା ପଜିଟିଭ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଆସିଛି।
ତୁମେ ଏମିତି ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ହୁଅନି ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ତୁମର ବ୍ୟସ୍ତତା ମତେ ଆହୁରି ଦୁର୍ବଳ କରିଦଉଛି ସାବିତ୍ରୀ
ମୁଁ କଣ କରିବି ମୁଁ ଏକୁଟିଆ। ରୁହ ରୁହ ତୁମେ ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ହୁଅନି ମୁଁ ତୁମ ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ଫୋନ କରୁଛି। ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ସୁବ୍ରତ ମୁଁ ଭାଉଜ କହୁଥିଲି ତୁମ ଭାଇଙ୍କର କରୋନା ପଜିଟିଭ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଆସିଛି। ତୁମେ ଟିକେ ଆସନ୍ତନି ମୋ ପାଖରେ କେହି ନାହାନ୍ତି ମତେ ଟିକେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କର। କଣ କହିଲ ଆସିପାରିବନି ତୁମର ତୁମର ଦେହ ଖରାପ
ତୁମର ତ ଆସିପାରିବନି ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ହଉ
ତୁମେ ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ହୁଅନି କିଛି ହବନି ରୁହ 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 ମୁଁ ମୋ ଭାଇଙ୍କୁ ଫୋନ କରୁଛି ସେ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଆସିବ ଦେଖିବ ସେ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ଆସିବ। ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଭାଇ ତୁ କୋଉଠି ଅଛୁ ରେ ତାଙ୍କର କରୋନା ପଜିଟିଭ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଆସିଛି ତୁ ଟିକେ ଆସ ରେ ମୋ ପାଖରେ କେହି ନାହାନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଏକା। କଣ କହିଲ ତୋର ବି ଦେହ ଖରାପ
ଆସିପାରିବନି କେହି ଆସିବେନି ସାବିତ୍ରୀ କେହି ଆସିବେନି ଆରେ ମୃତ୍ୟୁକୁ କାହାର ବି ଭୟ ନଥାଏ ସାବିତ୍ରୀ
ସେମିତି କୁହନି
ମୋ ଛାତି କାହିଁକି ଭଲ ଲାଗୁନି
ସେମିତି କୁହନି
ନିଶ୍ୱାସ ପ୍ରଶ୍ୱାସ ନେଇ କର ସାବିତ୍ରୀ
ତୁମର କିଛି ହବନି ତୁମେ ସେମିତି କୁହନି ହେ ଭଗବାନ ମୁଁ କଣ କରିବି ମୁଁ କଣ କରିବି। अरे उठा अरे किसी तो कुआ देखो मते देखो ମୁଁ ତୁମ ସାବିତ୍ରୀ ଡାକୁଛି ମତେ ଦେଖ ଦେଖ ମତେ କିଛି ତ କୁହ। ଏ ଭାଇ ଟିକେ ଆସ ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କର ରେ ଭାଇ ଆସ। ଏ ମା ଟିକେ ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କର ଆସ ରେ ମା ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କର। ଏ ଭାଇ ଟିକେ ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ କର ରେ ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କର କଣ କରି ଏ ମା ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କର ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ
ଭାଇ ଆସ ମତେ ଟିକେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କର। ଏ ଭାଇ ମୁଁ ତୁମ ଗୋଡ଼ ହାତ ଧରି ଦେଉରେ।
চারিয়াড়ে হাহাকার সভিଙ୍କୁ কুয়াডর চারিয়াড়ে হাহাকার সভিଙ୍କୁ কুয়াডর চারিয়াড়ে হাহাকার সভিଙ୍କୁ কুয়াডর বন্ধু পরিজন যেতে কলে সাত পর বন্ধু পরিজন যেতে কলে সাত পর মহামারী আগে সবু বিভূষণ চার মহামারী আগে সবু বিভূষণ চার এটি কিয়ে সাহেব কর এটি কিয়ে সাহেব কর এটি কিয়ে সাহেব কর এটি কিয়ে সাহেব কর खोजरा यही बहुअत साहा नारी खोजरा यही बहुअत साहा देखो भासी जाए तार सुखर संसार देखो भासी जाए तार सुखर संसार एटी किए साहेब घर एटी किए साहेब घर एटी किए साहेब घर एटी किए साहेब घर ताकू है बेसाहा बंची बाकू ते बेराहा जिए ताकू है बेसाहा बंची बाकू ते बेराहा फेराई बे भाई तार संखा सिंदूर फेराई बे भाई तार संखा सिंदूर ये पोरा समाजर ये पोरा समाजर द्वितीय ईश्वर ये पोरा समाजर ये पोरा समाजर द्वितीय ईश्वर ओ द्वितीय ईश्वर ओ द्वितीय ईश्वर
निज लोक जेतेबेले डरुछंती आउ काहाकू कहबी ए महामारी टा मनीष पड़िया को भी मारी देछि
ହେବନି ଭଉଣୀ ଏ ଯେଉଁ ମରିଯିବ ଏ ମାନବ ସଭ୍ୟତାଟା ଲୋପ ପାଇଯିବ। ମଣିଷ ପଣିଆ ନଥିଲେ ଏ ହଜାର ହଜାର ଡାକ୍ତର ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟକର୍ମୀ ସ୍ୱେଚ୍ଛାସେବୀ ନିଜର ଜୀବନକୁ ବାଜି ଲଗେଇ କଣ ସଂଗ୍ରାମ କରୁଥାନ୍ତେ? ଏମିତି ହତାଶ ହେଉଛ କାହିଁକି?
ମୋ ସ୍ୱାମୀ କରୋନା ପଜିଟିଭ ଜାଣିଲା ପରେ ନିଜ ଲୋକ ରକ୍ତ ସମ୍ପର୍କର ଡୋରିଟା ଯେମିତି ବରିଆ ହୋଇ ଛିଡ଼ିଗଲା। ମୁଁ କାହାକୁ କହିବି? କିଏ ମତେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ ଆଉ କରିବ?
ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ହୁଅନି ଭଉଣୀ, ମୁଁ ତୁମକୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିବି। ଏଇ କୋଭିଡ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କର ଚିକିତ୍ସା ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା।
ତୁମେ ମତେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିବ? ମୁଁ ତୁମ ଋଣ ଶୁଝି ପାରିବିନି। ତୁମେ ମୋ ପାଇଁ ଦେବଦୂତ।
ଆରେ ନା, ଏଇଟା ତ ମୋର କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ। ଏଇ ନିଅ ଭଉଣୀ, ମାସ୍କ ପିନ୍ଧ। ଚାଲ ଆମେ ତମ ସ୍ୱାମୀଙ୍କୁ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ନେଇଯିବା।
ଆରେ ତୁମ ଦୁଇ ଜଣକୁ ହେଇଛି ମାନେ ମତେ ତ ହେଇଥିବ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ। ଆଉ ସେ ରିପୋର୍ଟରୁ କଣ ମିଳିବ?
ଆର୍ତ୍ତତ୍ରାଣ ତୁମ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ନେଇଯାଅ।
ପ୍ରଭୁ, ମୋ ରିପୋର୍ଟଟା ନେଇ ଆସ।
ଯାଉ ଜଲ୍ଦି। ନିର୍ବୋଧ ବାଳିକେ, ଆଉ ସେ କଥା କୁହ ନା। ଲୋକ ଚିହ୍ନି ଗଲେ ମାମୁଁ ଘରେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଘଣା ପେଲିବା ଯେ।
କଥା ସଇଲା ଠାକୁରେ, କଥା ସଇଲା। ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ବି କରୋନା।
କାହିଁକି? ତୁମର ସେ ଶୁଣ୍ଡ ଭଙ୍ଗା ଗୁଣ୍ଡ ମାନେ ସ୍ପାଇକ୍ ଡେଷ୍ଟ୍ରୟିଂ ପାଉଡରଟା କଣ କାମ କଲାନି କି?
ମାନ୍ୟବର ଚିହ୍ନି ଦେଲେ କି?
ଆଉ ମୁହଁ ଲୁଚାନ୍ତୁନି। ଆମେ ମାନେ ଏଠି ଜୀବନକୁ ବାଜି ଲଗେଇ କରୋନା ସହିତ ସଂଗ୍ରାମ କରୁଛୁ, ଅଥଚ ତୁମ ଭଳି କିଛି ଲୋକ ଦୁର୍ବଳତାର ସୁଯୋଗ ନେଇ ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଭଣ୍ଡି ଚାଲିଛ। ଆମର ସବୁ ପରିଶ୍ରମ ପାଣିରେ ପଡୁଛି, ଆଉ ଏ କରୋନା ମାଡି ଚାଲିଛି।
ମାନ୍ୟବର, ଆମକୁ କ୍ଷମା, ଆମେ ଭୁଲ କରିଛୁ, ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଠକିଛୁ, ଆମକୁ ଶାସ୍ତି ଦିଅ।
ଶାସ୍ତି ଦେବା ମୋର କାମ ନୁହେଁ, କେମିତି ସୁସ୍ଥ ହେବ ସେଇଟା ମୋର କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ।
ମାନ୍ୟବର, ଯଦି ଭଲ ହେଇଗଲୁ ଆଉ ଏ କାମ କେବେ କରିବୁ?
ସେଇଥିରେ ହିଁ ଜଗତର ମଙ୍ଗଳ ଅଛି।
ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ସରୋଜ ବାବୁ, ଆପଣ ଏବେ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ରୋଗମୁକ୍ତ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଏହା ଭାବିବେନି ଯେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଆଉ କୋରୋନା ହେବ ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ସତର୍କ ହେଇକି ଚଳିବେ। କୋରୋନାର ଏଇ ଯୁଦ୍ଧରେ ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର ବହୁତ ମହତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଭୂମିକା ରହିଛି। ଯେମିତିକି ମାସ୍କ ପିନ୍ଧିକି ରହିବେ, ନିଜ ଭିତରେ ଦୂରତା ରଖିବେ, ଆଉ ହାତ ଧୋଇବେ, ଆଉ ଖାସ କିମ୍ବା ଜ୍ୱର ହେଲେ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ କେନ୍ଦ୍ରକୁ ଯିବେ, ଆଉ ଠିକ ସମୟରେ ଭ୍ୟାକ୍ସିନ ନେବେ।
ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଉପକାର ଶୁଝି ପାରିବିନି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ। ଆପଣଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଶଙ୍ଖା ସିନ୍ଦୁରକୁ ଆଜି ଫେରି ପାଇଛି।
ଆରେ ନା,
आमे केवल चिकित्सा करू ईश्वर आरोग्य करंती बोली हमर विश्वास से ईश्वर को ठिकाना मु जाने हेले आखि सामने जो ईश्वर को देखुची से हेउछंती आपण समस्त स्वच्छासेवी स्वास्थ्यकर्मी और कर्मचारी माने जे माने मते साहाय्य कले आ ए भाई जे मते आपण निकट को आनिले ए माने समस्त मो पई देवदूत द्वितीय ईश्वर
बाबा हमें आ सुंदरबंगा गुंड बिकिबानी कि
मूर्ख हिकिगिरी किछि शिखिलनी ए रोग मो आखि खोली देइछि बाबूची जेते पाप धन कमेइछि सबू दान करि देबी मो जीवन दान देबी
मरि जीव हमें
मूर्ख बुझ टिके देख सेठी कोन लिखा आइछि
जीवन दान
मु भाबुची आमे आश्रमवासी गोटे रक्तदान शिविर आयोजन करिबा आउ ए निकट भविष्य रे आमे समस्ते रक्तदान करिबा
जति एपरि निष्पत्ति नैचंती तबे मु आपनको एथिरे सहयोग करिबी बाबा
बाबा नुहे भाई बोली डाक
मु सुनिछि बोला करे कोन पुण्य करियबो
मला परे माटी घट माटी रे मिसिबो मूर्ख
ए माटी घट हेले लीन आउ की करुथिबु पुण्य बोला ए माटी घट हेले लीन आउ की करुथिबु पुण्य हरे कृष्ण
हरिओ हरिओ
आपनको शिष्य ठीक कहिचंती बाबा
एमिति
आमे माने जदि जीवित अवस्था रे हमर अंगदान निमंते घोषणा करिबा तेबे मृत्यु परे हमर शरीर माटी रे लीन हेबा पूर्वरु हमर अंग गुडी को सुरक्षित रखी अन्य मानक ठारे प्रतिरोपण करा जाई परिबो जेमति कि हमर चक्षुदान द्वारा आउ केई हम आखि रे दुनिया देखि परिबो एबे कुहंतु तो बाबा आमे मृत्यु परे हमर अंग प्रत्यंग माध्यम रे आमे पुण्य कले कि ना नहीं
ए सुबुद्धि तोर तो केते बुद्धि
प्रभु आपण
हरिओ
किंतु एथिपाई हमको डाक्टरଙ୍କ परामर्श नेबाकू पड़े
ओ द्वितीय ईश्वरଙ୍କ परामर्श
ठीक कहिसेंती द्वितीय ईश्वर
सिए परा समाचार सिए परा समाचार द्वितीय ईश्वर सिए परा समाचार द्वितीय ईश्वर द्वितीय ईश्वर
द्वितीय ईश्वर
द्वितीय ईश्वर
द्वितीय ईश्वर
द्वितीय ईश्वर
द्वितीय ईश्वर
द्वितीय ईश्वर द्वितीय ईश्वर द्वितीय ईश्वर
What a spectacular performance. Put a huge round of applause for our participant. Now coming to our next performance by our junior resident Dr. Sangeeta, a solo dance, Tere Bina, from the movie Guru.
हो रुखी रे वो रुखी रे कांटू रे काटे कटे ना तेरे बिना बेसुआदी बेसुआदी रतिया वो सजना तेरे बिना बेसुआदी बेसुआदी रतिया वो सजना हो
Thank you. Now, I request our Professor Dr. Pankaj Parida sir and Mr. Santosh, Director of the Drama, and Mr. Gurudatta, Music Director of Drama, to please come to the dais. And I request Professor Dr. Parida sir to kindly felicitate Mr. Santosh and Mr. Gurudatta. Sir, please. Coming to our next event, the laziest thing to do, the lazy dance. Now the next performance to this beautiful evening by our lovable doctors, myself, Dr. Rasmita, Dr. Jagannath, Dr. Nirupama, Dr. Manu, Dr. Sangeeta, Dr. Devi, and Dr. Kaushik.
मेरे सामने वाली खिड़की में एक चांद का टुकड़ा रहता है मेरे सामने वाली खिड़की में एक चांद का टुकड़ा रहता है अफसोस ये है कि वो हमसे कुछ उखड़ा उखड़ा रहता है मेरे सामने वाली खिड़की में एक चांद का टुकड़ा रहता है
जाने जा ढूंढता फिर रहा हूँ तुम्हें रात दिन मैं यहाँ से वहाँ जाने जा ढूंढता फिर रहा हूँ तुम्हें रात दिन मैं यहाँ से वहाँ तू प्यार है किसी और का तुझे चाहता कोई और है तू प्यार है किसी और का तुझे चाहता किसी और की, तू पसंद है किसी और की, तुझे मांगता कोई और है।
हमको तुमसे प्यार है, जिया बेकरार है, आजा मेरी बुलबुल, तेरा इंतजार है। हमको तुमसे प्यार है, जिया बेकरार है, आजा मेरी बुलबुल, तेरा इंतजार है।
देखा है पहली बार साजन की आंखों में प्यार, देखा है पहली बार साजन की आंखों में प्यार, अब जाके आया मेरे बेचैन दिल को करार। वो मेरी नींद मेरा चैन मुझे लौटा दो, वो मेरी नींद मेरा चैन मुझे लौटा दो, वो मेरा प्यार मेरा दर्द मुझे लौटा दो। नींद जितनी भी मैंने खोई है, चैन जितना भी मैंने खोया है, वो मेरी नींद मेरा चैन मुझे लौटा दो, वो मेरा प्यार मेरा दर्द मुझे लौटा दो।
किसी डिस्को में जाए, किसी होटल में खाए, हो किसी डिस्को में जाए, किसी होटल में खाए, कोई देख लेना हमें यहाँ कहीं घूम के आए हम। चलो इश्क लड़ाए, चलो इश्क लड़ाए, चलो इश्क लड़ाए सनम, हो चलो इश्क लड़ाए, चलो इश्क लड़ाए, चलो इश्क लड़ाए सनम।
What a lovely performance. Thank you everyone. Coming to the next event, the group dance. We have a group dance by our students Himanshu, Swati, Ayush, Trupti, Sagarika and Nibha.
आज मैं लेके जाऊंगा दिल तेरा, रोके कोई मुझे, टोके कोई
What a lovely performance. Now, the last evening of this show, the fashion show. I request Dr. Manu, Dr. Nirupama, Dr. Sangeeta, Dr. Jagannath, Dr. Kaushik, Dr. Devi, Dr. Rasmita and Dr. Gopala to perform it.
छोड़ दो आंचल जमाना क्या कहेगा, ओ छोड़ दो आंचल जमाना क्या कहेगा।
हा इन अदाओं का जमाना भी है दीवाना दीवाना।
छोड़ दो आंचल जमाना क्या कहेगा, ओ छोड़ दो आंचल जमाना क्या कहेगा।
What? I ain't got a 9 to 5. I do music 24 hours a day. It's not 9 to 5. I can't hear what you are trying to say if you ain't on my ride. Yeah, man, I'm doing this thing part-time, now I'm doing this thing all day. I'm putting the work. Look, no, I don't care what you think or say, I'll put in the work all day. What? I ain't got a 9 to 5. I do music 24 hours a day. It's not 9 to 5. I can't hear what you are trying to say if you ain't on my drive. Yeah, man, I'm doing this thing part time. Now I'm doing this thing all day. I'm putting the work. Look, no, I don't care what you think or say. I'm putting the work all day. I'm putting the work all day.
What a lovely performance. Now, I would like to request our Associate Professor, ma'am, Dr. Smita Mahapatra, to kindly deliver a vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
It is not only a matter of professional honor, but also a personal privilege to present the vote of thanks on behalf of Department of Transfusion Medicine, SCB Medical College, Cuttack, organizing Platinum Jubilee celebration 75 for 75 in times of pandemic. With such wide participation is indeed a sign of blessings and good wishes of our esteemed participants have for this department. Our special gratitude and thanks undoubtedly goes to our patron, our Dean and Principal, Professor Dr. Tateshwar Hota, who has not only conceptualized the entire Platinum Jubilee preparations, but also has stood like a solid rock of support for our department, mentoring us all the way. We are grateful to our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vibhunendu Pati, whose presence in this hall is a matter of great inspiration for all of us. We remain indebted to our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Bidut Das, who has a special place for us as a guide and well-wisher for our department all through our journey. Special mention to be made about the jewel among our alumni, Professor Dr. Rakhikar, our CME speaker, now Professor Pathology at JIPMER, Puducherry, for her video message. Our deep gratitude and special thanks to our faculty members, including the head of the department, and especially Bhuban sir, who have always encouraged us in all the ventures. Sir, I would be failing in my duty if I do not specifically mention the role of people who have been working behind the scenes to make this program a grand success. Sachi Babu, may I know Sachi Babu and his team? A big round of applause for them. I need it. For the audio-visual support, Dr. Devashis Panigrai, for the YouTube link and the Zoom link, Shri Santosh Mahapatra, the script director of our drama, Shri Gurudatta Naik and their team, Mrs. Kamalini Naik for the voice with Shri Gurudatta sir, Shri Prakash Kumar on the keyboard, Shri Prasanna Kumar on the octopad, Shri Devendra Kumar on the dholak, Shri Bipin Kumar or the sampler for the drama and musical support, staff of the principal office for encouraging us, our beloved alumni of our department, Dr. Gopal, Dr. Divya, Dr. Anshuman, for attending the function personally and so actively and energetically. Dr. Sabita Palai and Dr. Rabindra Kumar Mishra for the gracious presence. our dear residents and staff for putting their best effort to make the evening memorable. All the staff of Blood Bank SCB Medical College for the support and encouragement. And all those well-wishers who are watching the program live through YouTube and Zoom. Our assistant professor, Dr. Rashmita Panikrai, for conducting the program smoothly. And last but not the least, our heartfelt thanks to our professor and HOD, Professor Dr. Pankaj Parida, for his constant support, guidance, and direction. Thank you so much. Thank you for making the event so successful, and we are on time. Thank you so much with your support.